And on the second last corner, I smacked her into the wall. Because you got 5,000 people from across the world looking at you. Just do it, man. Like, what do you got to lose?
Welcome to another episode of Perspective Shifted. A little bit of a different episode today. I'm back with George Musa and DJ Sabio, an international DJ. Has supported acts like Bruno Mars, Usher, Drake, Post Malone, Fat Man Scoop, who recently passed away. Rest in peace. Over 125,000 followers on TikTok. He is not just an amazing DJ, but is an inspiration for the last 10 minutes that we've been talking. Thankfully, we recorded it. But welcome, DJ Sabio. We're going to call you Sabs.
Yeah, you can call me Sabs.
And George is back. Welcome, George.
Welcome. Thanks for having me, boys.
Mate, let's kick off. Let's hear your story.
Let's go. So I'm a full-time DJ. I've been a DJ for 22 years. I started when I was 15. I'm now 37, obviously. Just throw that in there. And being a full-time DJ, it's been very, ups and downs. There's a lot of, there's been a lot of, how can we say, like obstacles. There's been a lot of good times, but there's also been a lot of bad times too, that comes with it. So today I want to talk about, my perspective and what I've been through and how my learnings and my experiences can help others or, just see things from different perspectives. Do you get what I'm saying?
That's what we're all about.
100%. So, yeah, I'm just really keen to lay it all out,
Oh, well, let's kick it off. I guess the most important thing is, and you touched on that, you've had high highs and low lows.
Yeah.
Before we talk about the highs, we always got to start from the fundamental lows, right?
The lows.
So full-time DJ, that in itself is that's a
big thing.
That's a task, right?
Yeah, it's hard, especially in Australia or especially Sydney, at the moment.
And not to dismiss other DJs, but most of the DJs in Sydney are the weekend DJs. Would you?
Yeah, like
that?
yeah. Oh, look, yeah.
Respectfully, of course. Respectfully, not
100%. Yeah, yeah.
Weddings, birthdays, stuff like
correct.
that.
Look,
They
we
don't
all
crack the club market.
Yeah, I mean, look, obviously I started off as well doing a lot of private functions and, weddings and formals and...
You've done all mine.
Yeah, exactly. I have done all yours. Yeah, so obviously we all have to start from somewhere and, it's also, once you break free of that though, it gets harder, but it's worth it once you break free of that.
What was your first performance?
My first performance, I mean... Okay, my first performance, right?
I knew there was a story there.
Yeah. Okay, so let's start from when I was 15 because I got into DJing. I had a fascination I've been in music since I was a kid, right? Like my parents were fortunate enough to buy me a Casio keyboard and, I had a fascination with drums. So ended up getting a drum kit when I was 10 and smashing that out.
Your parents are game.
Yeah, exactly. To get me a drum kit. So... I got a drum kit and, I love that. And I had a fascination for DJs, right? Back then there was no real YouTube or anything like that. It was just more so what you saw on TV and stuff like that. Anyway, so I was like, okay, well, I want to get into DJing. So then back then, early days of the internet, it was like there was a program called PC DJ Red and it was a very, very basic 2-player, one little mixer that you can mix the two songs together type of program, right? Just the basic, the fundamental of DJing, the fundamentals of DJing. Anyway, so I got that and I was toying around with it. Now, you couldn't hear what you were mixing. Like it was just more so you got two songs, then you got to try and beat match it together. So you had to train your ears. And this was good because essentially that's what DJing is all about, using your ears, right? Anyway, so I started with that and I was toying around with that for a couple of, months. And then a school friend of mine, he asked me to DJ his 16th birthday, right? And I was like, yeah, cool, no worries. So I took my whole computer and I'm talking like, we're not talking little laptops.
Not just
and
the
stuff.
decks or anything.
Man, I'm talking my tower, my big monitor. I took it all to this guy's house, right?
Wow.
And set it up.
So what's his 2004?
2000, no, I was 18, 2004, 2001. All right. So 2001, I was 15, right?
Oh, wow. Pentium 3 for sure.
Bro, let me tell you. And I took my whole computer setup, man. It was a massive thing on the table. Anyway, I DJ'd this party for 9.5 hours
16th.
at 16th, 9.5 hours. And honestly, it was one of the best parties. Well, for me, obviously, it was my first party, but it was one of the best parties.
Best experience, yeah.
Best experience that, like, one of the best experiences I had. And that is when I knew that I love this, man. Like, I need to do this full time, you know, like, or like I want to continue this and see where it leads me. Because it's not easy, bro, to DJ 9.5 hour party.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like, you need you need a lot of music, and it wasn't like I was playing anything twice because I don't like to do that. Like, once I play the song, that's it. So, you know, for 9.5 hours, I had to cater for, you know, 100 people for this 16th birthday party. It was sick, man. Like, it was sick. Anyway, so then that moment forward, I knew that's what I wanted.
There you go. And fast forward, where did you set, before we started recording,
Yeah.
I heard a lot about your discipline. So
Yeah.
I want to dive into that. I actually even made notes. Look, I even wrote goal-driven, disciplined, exploring options to find what works.
Yeah. Essentially.
And it sounds like you are that person. So at 15 years old,
So
Sabs at 15, what did he dream for?
So me at 15 years old, let's touch on Fat Man Scoop, right? So Fat Man Scoop obviously just passed away, which is it hit home for a lot of people, especially me, because when I was 15, Be Faithful was out, right? His song, the biggest song that he created, Be Faithful. If you got $100 bill, get your hands up, right? That one.
Yeah,
it's iconic club song.
100%.
Iconic,
I grew
right?
up, I went clubbing to that. Everyone has gone clubbing to that.
It still gets played in the clubs today, man. Like, it's just, it's one of the biggest hype tracks of all time. And back then, there were two MCs, right? There was Fat Man Scoop, and then there was Little John, right? So you were either Fat Man Scoop or you were Little John. I didn't mind Little John, but I was pro Fat Man Scoop, man. Like, I looked up to him, man. I was inspired by how he was as an entertainer. Do you get what I mean? And I think a lot of that has sort of migrated itself into my work, because as a DJ, like, I'm a DJ. That's the core the core foundation of what I do. But I look at myself more like an entertainer than a DJ, because the last thing people want to see at a club is the DJ standing up there just not doing anything, or not being energetic, or just standing there mixing two songs after, one song after another.
Sometimes not even mixing, just playing the mix.
That's exactly right too, But for me, I wanted to keep it, like, really entertaining. So I incorporated, me being on the microphone and stuff like that, G'ing up the crowd, getting the crowd involved, all of that. Now, when I was 15, I said to myself, one day I want to be on stage with Fat Man Scoop.
At 15 years old?
I said that at 15. And it happened on my 30th birthday.
What an accomplishment.
And it was crazy.
Where were you?
So I was a resident DJ at Marquee, Sydney. And I had been there, I'd say, for, a year or two. And that whole story, me getting into Marquee Sydney, is a whole nother ball game, man. Like, what I went through to get into that venue, because it was the premium venue of Australia, not just Sydney, like Australia, man.
Marquee was the place to be.
100%. And it was very tight knit. It was very hard to get in there. And that's a whole different story. Like, if I tell you that as well, like, that'll lead to anything is possible when you put your mind to it. So I can tell you that as well. So, but I'd been there for about 2 years, and Fat Man Scoop got booked to perform at Marquee. And it happened, the date was, because my birthday's the 4th of December, right? And it was the 3rd of December, Saturday night. So the Saturday was the 3rd of December. So Saturday night, midnight, it was my 30th.
Far out.
So
Which I came out to support.
yeah, you were there. Anyway,
on the stage with him.
Oh, man, I still remember this like it was yesterday, man. Like, it was such an experience, bro. Like, to have your family and your friends there. Like, it wasn't a big group, but it was just, it was nice. About 10 of us, right?
I've got some videos and photos. We'll send them, pop them up.
Yeah, you can pop them up. Yeah. You can pop them up for sure. And I was at the booth in the main room, and it was like a R&B takeover. So the R&B was in the main room, because usually it was in the smaller room, right? But this was the R&B was in the main room, and the DJ was warming up, and I was at the booth, and it was like 11:45, right? So it was about to clock over to midnight. And we're at the table, whatever was have you, and then Fat Man Scoop's come into the venue, and he's jumped up on stage at midnight. And as he's jumped up on stage, someone's told him, or somehow something's happened, and somebody's mentioned to him that it was the resident DJ's birthday, right? And he jumped on the mic, man, and he was like, Sabio, where are you? Sabio. Bro. And the whole of us, like all of us, I was in shock, man. I was like, did he just call my name? Like, did Fatman Scoop just say my name, you know? Like, and he goes, Sabio, get up here, man, like this. And then the whole table's just screaming, bro. And like, obviously the people that knew me at the club and stuff, they were just yelling. So I've made my way up to the stage, and I've jumped up on stage, and he's grabbed me in a hug. And he's told everybody, told the whole of Marquee that it was my birthday. And he got the whole of Marquee Sydney to sing me happy birthday.
Wow.
It was like, I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about it, bro. Like
moment.
it was that to me was that 15-year-old Sabio, like dream come true. You know what I mean? Like it was a huge thing for me, bro. Like huge.
100%. Especially 15 years in the making.
Exactly. You know, like it had been resonating for 15 years.
That goal.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, like who's to say that I was going to continue DJing? Like, let alone be on stage with Fatman Scoop, one of the biggest inspirations to me as an entertainer. You know what I mean? Like, it was mental,
about
bro.
the DJing.
Yeah.
I had a question.
Ask
Did
me.
your parents ever tell you to get a real job?
No. So my parents separated when I was young, right? So when I was like 6, or just a bit younger than 6, my parents separated. So I was very young when my parents separated, right? And my dad was still here in, Australia, whatever. We'd stay with my mum over the week, and then over the weekend stay with my dad, right?
Yep.
And my mum, when I was about 6 or just almost 7, my dad ended up going to Greece, right? And he was going for a holiday, and then one thing led to another, ended up staying, right? So I've been raised by my mum, right? Me and my sister. She raised 2 kids on her own and tried to give us everything that we ever wanted. And it wasn't easy, like for my mum or for us, whatever.
Yeah.
But like I take my hat off to my mum. Like she did an extremely well job in raising 2 kids on her own, man. Like, and my mum was the one that supported me pushed me in whatever I wanted to do. Like if I was passionate about music, she would.
Buy your drum kit.
Well, she bought me my drum kit.
There you go.
It wasn't an expensive one, but it was a drum kit, like, and that to me was everything. You get what I mean? Like, and when I was 15 and I was playing around with DJing, when I was 16, I got my first set of turntables that my mum got me, because obviously I was working, like obviously you work at 14 or 9 months or whatever it is, you start working, whatever. So I was working as a waiter in a restaurant, and I was making a little bit on the side, whatever else have you, but it wasn't enough to I saved up, but my mum contributed to purchasing my first set of turntables. And that was everything to me, so my mum pushed me essentially to be the person that I am today.
You're very lucky because I don't think a lot of parents would support that.
No, because they would look at it like it's not a real job.
That's right.
Do you get what I mean? But when you have somebody that's supporting your passions, someone like your mum, like
it's a world of difference,
bro, like anything is possible. Like you can take over the world. Do you get what I mean? As long as you have that one person that supports you.
Yeah, that's right.
Do you get what I mean? Yeah. And for me, I wanted to make my mum proud. Like for me, I'm doing this because 1, I love it and I'm passionate about it, and 2, I want to make my mum proud. Do you get what I mean? Like,
of course,
that's everything that I've done. My mum's been in my mind. Do you get what I mean? Like to make it happen and to just do it.
That's awesome. Thing. That is awesome. Because it's one thing just supporting you because you're her child, but actually your passion, driving you to go do what you feel, is you. Yeah, like my mum. Rare.
Yeah, 100%, man, 100%. And you know what? Like if you can find that in a relationship, like that's all you need. You know what I mean? Someone's going to back you and support you and push you, and not drag you down. And I've had my fair share of people that have dragged me down.
Well, obviously we want to touch on that because that's an important part of what you do, because your job is not a 9 to 5.
Yeah.
Where everyone else finishes work and goes home, you're going to work.
Exactly. I'm going to work and late hours of the night. Do you get what I mean? Like weekends, some nights during the week.
Yeah, you don't get to see your friends and family on weekends and go to the beach and
Exactly.
sacrifice a lot.
100%.
Right?
And obviously going based off being a full-time DJ, like if I don't work, I don't get paid. So, like there are times where I've had to miss friends' special occasions, like weddings and stuff like that, because I've had to work.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean? Because I've got bills to pay. You know what I mean? Like I'm still at home supporting my family and, doing what I need to do. Do you get what I mean? Like
It's like calling someone at 10 o'clock on a Monday morning saying, let's go have breakfast. Well, man, I'm at work. It's the same story, right?
Exactly,
Just different time frame.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
How did you navigate keeping and I think it's more around relationships too, right? Because some people would understand you and then some people would be upset by you for choosing your work over them.
Yeah.
How did you navigate that demographic of people? And I guess, you don't have to, mention names, but
of course, yeah, 100%.
In your relationships, did you have that ups and downs of people understanding and supporting you and then others not so much and feeling like maybe you were being selfish perhaps?
Yeah, I've had that. I've had a few friendships actually go to shit because of it. And I'm talking long-term friendships, like 10 years plus.
Wow.
Yeah. So I've had a few relationships and,
I think it's very important to put yourself and your desires before any friendship and relationship, because if they were friends, they would have supported your dream.
they would understand.
Well, that's the definition of friendship, right?
Yeah.
That's right.
I want to see my friend happy what he's doing and I'll
100%,
support him, not
Yeah.
if it suits my agenda.
Exactly. So, and you know what, like you sort of, being in the industry of working with people and being around people, like on another note, as I was growing up, I ended up purchasing my own cafe when I was 21. And George knows he had come to that cafe as well a few times. Funny, the cafe was called DJ's Cafe.
Oh, no way.
So everything was based around the DJing.
I was about to ask you, how did you incorporate the music? But obviously you've just answered
Yeah, so everything was based around music and DJing, right? So I had this cafe, bought it when I was young, and had to build it up, and that was quite a task. But you got to do what you got to do. You know what I mean? Like you just put your mind to it, and you make it work. And the cafe was quite an experience for me because I got to know so many people. Like you see so many different people, right? And the best thing about that is you can gauge different characters. You learn different, characteristics of people.
Yeah.
You talk to them more and more, and you can, and even body language. Like body language is very important. And, talking to people and getting to know them and, knowing what they like to drink coffee-wise and whatever have you, you sort of, it's just.
You get to know their personalities.
You get to know their
That's something to
personalities.
speak about.
And
It's a skill.
yeah,
Right?
like
It's
it's
a skill.
and you get to notice different things that you like and dislike, right? Things that you resonate with and things that you don't resonate with. And that naturally will ingrain itself in you. So it's like, okay, I know you and, I know some of your story and I know your views on things. Do I agree with them? No. Does that make you a bad person? No. But I don't agree with you. Do you get what I'm saying? And that's totally fine. You can not agree with somebody, even though,
100%.
because I've had people as well, like friends that, will just tell you something for the sake of telling you something, like meaning trying to make you feel good. Like say if I produced a song, right, and I showed you, even if you didn't like it, you would tell me that you liked it. But is that somebody that you want around you?
No.
That
Definitely
is such an
not.
interesting
It's
question.
like starting the business. How many of your friends actually came to support you?
Exactly.
It's strangers support you more than your own friends and family.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like I remember how many, like you came more to my cafe than
Yes. Every time I wasn't working or something, we would come.
you came more to my cafe. You and your brother came more to my cafe than somebody that I've known for 20 years. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, well, obviously it's safe to say that we're not friends anymore. Do you get what I'm saying? But that's another story.
What I heard you say just then, correct me if I'm wrong, is that people were saying, well done, but they actually weren't giving you their honest feedback.
Correct. So that it's like, okay, so they were telling me well done. Like, okay, I don't expect you to tell me like
what I want
it's
to hear.
Exactly.
I want you to tell me what you really think.
Exactly. Do
Do
you get what I mean?
Why
Like,
that they do that?
it's more so,
Why do you think they do that? Because we know
I think from my understanding and from my, dealings with people over the years and stuff like that, it's like there's a few reasons why somebody will just tell you that, okay? One, they want to know your every move, right? So they want to stay close to you so they know your every move, right? So you can tell them everything, right? And sometimes it's not a good thing to just tell people everything, right?
Because they're willing to listen.
Because they're willing to listen, but
For the wrong reasons.
correct. There's hidden agendas there. Do you get what I mean? And the other thing is like, it's either they're jealous or envious of you.
Yes, it's the insecurities.
It's
It
insecurities.
starts in here
100%.
because they're insecure and they aren't doing what you're doing, or they're not achieving what you're doing, or they're jealous of what you're doing. All comes from here.
100%.
You know, when someone hates you or abuses you, it's not because they dislike you. It's because they're unhappy here.
Yeah.
Everything comes from inside,
Yeah.
right? So if you're always angry, you're going to hate a lot of more people in your life,
Yeah.
right? It all stems from yourself.
100%. And that, like, obviously everybody goes through times with insecurities and stuff like that, right? But it's how you control that. Like, you can't control what happens to you, right? But you can control how you react to it. So it's your choice, man. Like, okay, I'm showing you this song and you're telling me you like it. Okay, that's cool. Are you telling me you like it because you think it's a mad song, or are you telling me you like it just because you can't do it? And, like, you want to do it. Like, or you want to know how to do it. Because I will happily teach somebody how to make music. Like, I will happily give somebody my time. Let's put it that way, right? Because then we can generalize that more so than just making music. I will happily give you my time if you are legitimately and genuinely willing to learn. Because otherwise, why would I waste my time? Because time is extremely valuable. And tomorrow is promised to nobody, man. You know what I mean? Like, so it's like, I want to give my time to you as long as you're willing to accept it and
embrace
it, man. Like, you know what I'm saying?
If someone can't
Like,
respect your time, then
100%.
you walk away.
100%. You know what I mean? So it's like, going back to the cafe, like, I've had a lot of people that I've met and, learned different characteristics and different traits and things that I've seen. And it's like, all right, cool, I understand that. And that's helped in many aspects of my life, more so like, personal relationships and, friendships and business relationships and stuff like that.
Would you say that it's raised your awareness around
Yeah, absolutely.
the people skills?
Yeah, absolutely. Like, it's definitely raised my awareness meaning, like, how do I feel when I'm around you? Right? Because that's, for me.
That's a very powerful question.
Yeah. Like, how do I feel when I'm around you? Like, because your gut, you have to trust your gut, man. Like, your gut will tell you things that you do not understand, or you may not even, you can't even begin to understand until the moment it happens.
I agree.
And the gut's mostly right. Sometimes you suppress it and you're like, no, it's okay.
100%.
Like, I should have gone with my gut.
Yeah, you should have gone with your gut. Like, there's something about your gut that tells you more than what your mind does.
Yeah, it's
your mind plays
it's
tricks.
the regulator. It's the regulator to go, pull back.
And I can touch base on that because I've had a number of instances where my gut has told me something and it turned out to be correct. And there's also the other time too where you think that your gut's telling you something because your mind's telling it.
From fear, that
you want it to tell you something, but it's actually not. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, that's the other thing too. That's where the mind plays games on you, But you have to follow your gut, man. Like, because I've had friendships as well that have gone to shit because, like, I felt it in my gut, but it was like I didn't say anything.
So what would you say to those people?
To the people that
you can see are unhappy and are not doing any work on themselves to get to that point where they don't have to feel insecure or envious or jealous.
Well, a lot of people don't know how to get out of that, man. Like, a lot of people don't know how to release themselves from the trap.
Yeah, they're stuck in their head
Of insecurities and anger and anxiety and stuff like that, right? And, we've all been there. Like, there have been times, where Oh man, there's a few stories actually. But there was a time where a relationship, right? Let's just say a personal relationship. Not to mention any names.
Like an intimate relationship.
Like an intimate relationship, right? Not mentioning any names or real scenario, but I'll tell you the core foundation of it, right? Like I was pretty wrapped with this girl. It was a very quick sort of thing. And the sex was very hot. It was very, 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 very hot. So it's like, okay, well, how do it's like, obviously I don't love the girl, but
Physical chemistry, tick.
big time, right? And it's like, okay, well, we had extremely hot sex. It was more so like everything was good. Like it was a quick, easy, everything just sort of fell into place, right? But there was always something telling me that there's something not right here, all right? But I couldn't put my finger on it. Anyway, and naturally, because my gut was telling me that, then naturally your walls start going up, right? So you want to protect yourself, even though you're so deep into this thing, right? Anyway, and then, turns out she was...
Change the narrative if you have to.
turns out...
Can I guess?
Go. Take
A
a guess.
worker?
No. She wasn't a worker. No. She wasn't a worker. But it turned out that she was interested in somebody else as well.
Okay.
So there was a bit of a situation like that. But I knew, I had a feeling, but I just couldn't prove it, right? So I couldn't prove it. Anyway, so then...
Was it because you couldn't prove it or because you were trying to fight the denial of...
Limerence.
Limerence is the
trying to
word. That's
fight-
why I learned the word in the last podcast, limerence, when you're all so
When
pumped
you're
up about...
infatuated, like were you like hanging to see her the next day? Like
It
you
was-
saw her and you're like, oh, shit, that was so good. Like I want to see her again tomorrow.
It's not. Would you say it's?
It's
we're
unhealthy.
throwing questions to left and right.
Smash me,
But
it's
it's like, were you like, I'm trying to find it, but I can't find where she's potentially cheating, or is it? Nah, maybe she's not. Nah, maybe this is good. This is good. Well, the sex is too good. It's impossible she's with anyone else.
Man, look, it was a tough situation because I at the time I was confused. I didn't know what it was.
It was an unhealthy infatuation.
It was extremely unhealthy, bro.
Unhealthy
Extremely
infatuation.
unhealthy, right? And it was toxic as because there'd be abuse between each other. Like she would bring a side of me out that I didn't like, right? And then it would be like she would try and turn it around on me like I'm insecure. Do you get what I mean? So there was a bit of manipulation there, right?
That's the
did that-
definition of gaslighting.
100%, man.
Did that change you as a person?
Look, you know what it did to me? Let me just finish the story. So I found out she was with somebody else as well. All right? So that for me, at the time, it broke me. But it didn't kill me. So there was a period for about, I'd say 2 weeks, right? That I was gutted. I was like, man, and for me, I've been through some situations and I had understood, and obviously it wasn't like it was the first time that it happened to me. No, it happened. Something similar happened before, but we weren't together. Anyway, that's another. It happened sort of freshly after we broke up. Anyway, but this was the first time that something like this sort of happened.
Simultaneous, yeah.
Simultaneously. So then, for me, I was like, okay, so it was a tough situation, and I had to sort of digest it all, right? And for me, yeah, like when I say it broke me because I was kicking myself because I knew, like something was telling me that I knew that there's something wrong here, but I didn't go with it. I didn't trust my gut. Do you get what I mean? Like I sort of fell into the trap of manipulation, and then I started to doubt myself, like what she was saying to me, like what is actually me? Am I actually insecure? Like really gaslit me, right? And once I found out that it was true, it was a big sense of relief. Like, okay, like a big weight had lifted off my shoulders. But yeah, there was also the mourning of it. Like
You've got to mourn the loss.
100%, like process the breakup, process everything that happened, right?
Yep.
And that wasn't easy. And usually in the past, like I shut off and that's it. Do you get what I'm saying? But this time it wasn't easy. So it could have been a little bit deeper than just lust. You
Yeah.
get what I'm saying? However, it took me, I'd say 2 weeks, right? And I couldn't shake it. I couldn't get over it. And then I had a friend of mine say to me, no matter who I spoke to, and I never really speak about my emotions. Like I was always one to be very closed off, right? But that's not healthy. You have
Definitely
to talk.
not.
Yeah, you have to talk about your emotions, bro. You have to talk about it. Even if it's to somebody random that you don't know, because sometimes people feel comfortable
we've
talking.
been through this in the last couple of podcasts.
Sometimes you need to talk to somebody that you just don't know, right? Like so, there's no judgment there.
That's key.
Yeah,
The
'cause
key word there is
judgment.
not safe space where you don't feel judged.
100%, because that's what you need. You know what I mean? And I spoke to, for instance, this person. Like I knew it was a friend of a friend, right? But we were in a get together. Like there was like 3 or 4 of us outside one of the studios, whatever, and we're having a bit of a chat. And at that time, I was just laying it out. And he goes to me, he goes, bro, like something very similar happened to me. And he goes, the only piece of advice that I can give you, which helped me get over it, was you have to forgive her. And
That's
I was
right, because her actions are not a reflection on you.
100%. But I was like, when he told me that, I stopped and I was like, whoa, like that resonated with me. I really felt that, what he said. He goes, you have to forgive her. Even if she doesn't know about it, you have to forgive her. Bro, it's giving me goosebumps just thinking about it.
Yeah,
Like,
'cause I think
That's closure on your part
Exactly.
rather than needing closure from her.
100%, yeah. And for me, because that was never going to happen. There was going to be no closure from her. Like, for start, I didn't even want to speak to her. Do you get what I mean? Like,
See how that filters through other relationships?
Yeah.
If you didn't create that for yourself, you would have now gone to another relationship and bled whatever you've done this. to the next
100%,
person.
man. 100%. And I'll tell you a story about my next relationship after that, right?
So I didn't want to cut you off.
No.
Continue what you were saying
But
there, yeah?
that was good because I'll tell you the person. Anyway, so I'll just finish that and then we'll.
This will be a
continue to
2-hour
each other.
podcast, by the way,
No. We'll smash it out. We'll smash it out. Anyway, so then he told me that, and he goes, "Man, you have to forgive her." He goes, "It's the only way that you're gonna get over this." And I thought about it, and I was like, "Man, like, he's right." And from that moment, I forgave her for how she treated me and how I felt in it. And from that moment onwards, that was the start of the mending. Like I started healing from that.
And you find peace.
100%. That's the most important part, bro. I found peace, bro.
Yeah.
Like
I
when
think
you
people-
find inner peace, oh man, like
because I think people change when a crisis happens,
yeah,
right? Like a girl breaks up with you or someone steals your money,
Yeah.
something like that. But if you intentionally help yourself to change before the crisis happens, then I think you're ahead of the game.
yeah.
But everyone waits till the crisis happens, and then they become so low, it's so much harder to get up.
And you nailed it when you said that it's not what happened. You can't control what happens to you, but how you can react to it.
Correct.
And the secret sauce is in that sentence.
100%, man. Like I can't control what you do to me or what you do to me, right? But I can control how I react to it. So moving forward, because the other thing, touching off what you just said, right? Like you're at your lowest point. Okay, you are at your lowest point, right? But there's only one way you can go, man, and that's up.
That's right.
You get what I'm saying? So like,
Otherwise, you're not at your lowest point.
yeah, exactly. So then you rebuild yourself with the knowledge of what you've just learned.
Yeah.
You get what I mean? Because every experience that we do, everything that we go through, we learn something from it, right? So, and what we learn from that is we know what we want, we know what we don't want, we know what we will tolerate, we know what we won't tolerate. Do you get what I mean? So then moving forward, whether it be with a business relationship or a personal relationship or a friendship or something like that, you know that you have your boundaries, right? You have your core foundation, like your non-negotiables, you know what I mean? Like, and look, sometimes people will cross that non-negotiable, right? But you can give them the benefit of the doubt as long as you communicate it with them, because communication is very important in anything, right? And not only is it important in the building the foundation of the relationship or building the foundation of the business or just the overall open and honesty of that connection.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it also helps you with how can I say this? Like, it could,
Build your resilience too, wouldn't it?
well, yeah, like you can then just, once you're open and honest with somebody, there's no better feeling. Like when you're open and honest with somebody, whether it be, friend or girlfriend or boyfriend or whatever, like there is no, you feel like nothing can break that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, because no one can get upset with you if you're truly authentic and honest and transparent with what you've done.
Correct.
Said, whatever.
So if somebody, crosses that non-negotiable, you can be open and honest with them and say, hey man, listen, I didn't appreciate that. Like, just so you know moving forward, like this is how I feel about that. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah, because the fastest way to anger someone is to force them to change.
Yeah, like, I mean, you can't force somebody to change.
No.
You can take the horse to water, you can't make the horse drink.
100%.
Do you get what I mean?
Yeah,
So,
because what you're telling them is they're not good enough.
yeah, like,
But they might not be good enough for you, which is fine.
absolutely. So that's the other thing. So like people come into your life for a season and people come into your life for a long time. Do you get what I mean? So it's like, and you won't know until as time progresses. Do you get what I mean? Like again, like I've had friendships that have been like inseparable friendships, man, like 10 years plus, and that we don't speak anymore.
Yeah.
Because one thing
It's
happened.
crazy how it works. Like the both of yous. He shot my cars at my wedding.
I DJ'd at your wedding.
DJ at my wedding. You know what I mean?
But
And
we've
here
known
we
each
are
other for
10
years as
years
well.
later doing a podcast together.
100%. But
Like,
we've known
that
each other as well
spins me
longer
out.
than that as well. Like
Yeah.
when we're in the car scene, like when I was like 16, 17, 18 years old, we used to go like illegal street runs and stuff like that. And
Yeah, the standard.
the standard stuff that you do. And George, and I had a friend of mine, his name's Anthony, and George was in the car with Anthony, and that's where I met George. Scaparis.
Yeah.
Oh man. And that was a school friend of mine that I went to school with from kindergarten.
Yeah.
And, like even still, like some of those guys, I went to a school kindergarten to year 6 and then I changed schools. So all that kinder to year 6, that group of friends, like we saw each other once a year and that was at like church for Easter because we go to the same church, right? And then, but other than that, like when we see each other that once a year, it's like we never left.
Yeah.
You get what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
And then I've got friends that I met after that were longer friendships or that I was closer with that I have that they're no longer in my life for obvious reasons. Like something happened, whether they're, maybe they didn't like what you were saying before. Maybe they didn't like where I was going, with the DJing or, I sort of came to a conclusion that I need to put myself first, right? Because for as long as I could remember, I was putting other people first.
Exactly the way I lived my life. And it was the worst years of my life.
Yeah, I would put, myself last,
Maybe not even in the equation.
Correct,
If you say that, like once you say that statement, everyone, I don't think I've ever met anyone that goes, no, I'm not like that. Everyone goes, yeah, shit, I'm like that too.
Yeah.
I was like that. I am like that.
Look,
How do I change now?
Don't get me wrong. Like I'll still, put somebody else first if it depends on the importance they are to me. Like family, like my mum, whatever. Like she's first.
Yeah.
My sister, she's first. Like, do you get what I'm saying? Like, but in terms of just going out of my way to please friends and stuff like that, like unless I feel there's a real strong connection with that person, then I won't be putting them first. Now, it's selfish to say yes, but it's selfish for me and my happiness. Do you get what I mean? Like,
I look at it as selfless.
well, that too. It depends on how you look at it, really. Like,
And this is why the perspective is like that, right?
Yeah,
Perspective
exactly.
shift. That's what we call this, because we keep alluding to, if you can't be good with yourself, then you're sort of no good to anyone around you.
valid, yeah, valid, absolutely. Like, and the thing is with me as well, it's like I want to be able to be the strong, confident person that I know I am, and once I'm at that level, then I can help out whoever needs help. To get
Yeah.
like, don't get me wrong, man. Like, if I cross the street and somebody stacked it across the street, I'm going to help them up.
Of course.
Do you get what I
yeah.
mean? Like, it's not like, or if there have been times where I've gone, to get food and, there'd be I remember one time there was a little lovely old lady in front of me, right? And she was ordering food, whatever. Anyway, and then she didn't have enough on her. Anyway, so I pulled out and I was like, please, like, let me offer you, like, I'd like to pay for a food. Do you get
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, And she was lovely about it. Like, it wasn't, some people, don't take that, and some people take offense to that, and
Yeah.
some people, sort of
Appreciate
accept
the
it.
help.
Appreciate the help. Do you get what I mean? Like, I didn't do it to make myself look like a legend. Oh yeah, I'm the maddest fucking. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Like, I did it
Came from a genuine place.
100%, man. Like, the poor lady was trying to look for money. Like, yeah, sweetheart, please take something. Like, do you get what I mean? Like,
The whole putting in like people in front of you is things like, let's say you need to sit down, you need to do a couple of mixes and stuff, but
Yeah.
instead it's like, hey man, can you come and come and help me with this? Hey, can you
Correct.
come and do that? Oh, can you pick up this? And all of
Yeah.
a sudden you're just doing everyone to make everyone else happy.
Yeah.
And,
And
at the end
next
of the night
minute-
you're like, fuck, I didn't do what I had to do.
exactly. Next minute, and
that's the
you
people
suffer.
pleasing.
Yeah.
You suffer because of
And
it.
no one cares that you suffered
No.
because you've
Oh, no,
done
you
did
their
them the
thing.
favours.
Yeah. And I've had that before, and then that's when I made sort of the change. I was like, okay, well, I can't keep doing this.
Yeah.
And I said to myself, I was like, all right, I need to put myself first, and I needed to do that, especially, after when I started TikTok, because, like, I started TikTok and I was like, okay, I need to focus on this. And this is a lot of devotion,
Let's talk about that, because we did briefly talk about it before. You've got goals, and I alluded to this before. You're very goal driven. You said you want. Well, we're talking about an event, like a significant event, milestone event you want to achieve.
Yeah.
Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, so the aim for me, I'd like to crack, go live on TikTok and crack 5,000 live viewers,
Yeah.
right? Because that essentially is like, it's either a huge nightclub, or like an Enmore Theatre type vibe,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So, and that for me would be amazing, because you got 5,000 people from across the world
Yeah.
looking at you, the most I think I've cracked is about 11 or 1,200, right? So it's a good start. And I don't,
Very good numbers.
huge,
for a
I
live.
mean, man, that's massive numbers, and especially for somebody that doesn't go live that often. So that shows me that I'm doing something right when I'm live, right? So obviously people are tuning in, they're staying, they're liking the music.
You're engaging with them.
Correct. So I talk on the mic to them as well, and it's hard because you're sitting in the studio and there's no one in front of you.
Yeah.
Like, I vibe off what's happening in front of me, the
Yeah.
crowd.
You
and
don't stop
the
for
atmosphere.
a minute.
You know what I
You're
mean? Like,
in your room by yourself, but it's like you have a crowd around you. That's your energy. But you've always been like that.
and that's because of the music. Like, that's how, even since I was young, like, the music I have passion for music, and my mum saw that when I was a kid. That's why she supported me in pushing me into the music side of things.
So, what message do you want to share with people who are hesitant to follow their dreams then?
Based off what their parents may think,
Or anyone.
or
anyone
just
yeah.
Or society, or any kind of outside
I would
influence.
say just do it, man. Like, what do you got to lose? What do you have to lose? What would you rather, right? Would you rather take a crack at it and fail, or would you rather live with the regret of not taking the crack at it?
I think a lot of people choose the regret though.
Yeah, but why?
Because it's easier.
That's right.
Yeah, but
It's a coward's way out.
but
It's
life.
good to think of an idea. It's very hard to put it in motion.
Look, I understand that.
Just
alright?
like this podcast. When we did something at the start of the year, I go, well, I'd love to do a podcast,
There you
He goes,
go.
You know what? Me too. Literally, the next week he goes, I bought some podcast gear.
Oh, that's
I'm like,
amazing, man.
Yeah.
Wait, are we doing
See,
this now?
you said I'd love to do a podcast. He goes, I'd love to do a podcast too. Next minute, he goes and buys all the gear.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, that's how it goes
that's
sometimes.
the start, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you just have to take that first step. Like, you know how intimidating it is, like, to doing a TikTok, like, to focus, say, for instance, on TikTok and going TikTok live every day, or to put up a TikTok every day. Like, it's intimidating because you have set yourself a goal and you have to live to it. Like, you have to succeed in it. So it's intimidating because sometimes you can't come up with any ideas. Like, what are you going to put up? But you just have to take the step and try. So there'd be times I'd be sitting there in front of my DJ equipment and going, oh no, that's shit. Oh no, that doesn't work. Like, no, this is like, what am I even doing here?
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
So does social pressure impact you?
well, social pressure. I mean, it's not really the social pressure. It's more so the fact that I have to. Sometimes it can be disheartening, or sorry. Let me just take a step back. Sometimes, even in my life, right, I wanted to set a goal, and I never achieved it. Right. So I've set
Has that
goals.
happened?
Yes, I've set goals in the past and haven't achieved them. Right. And then I said, how I feel when I don't achieve them, I feel flat. Right. So you feel flat, and I'm going to come back to that message to people about doing it, and what advice that I can give.
How significant were those goals that you didn't achieve?
Well, obviously not significant enough. Do you get what I mean? Like, because I would have achieved them. And this is a prime example. I don't know if
Give
we've
us an
touched base
example
on
of what one goal was that failed,
what one goal was that failed,
or that you didn't reach,
that I didn't reach.
and why you didn't reach it.
Well, I said I was going to crack. I said I wanted to crack, like, I wanted to put up, I think I wanted to crack 100,000 subscribers on YouTube.
Oof, the hardest thing.
Telling me, bro.
I was stuck on 22.
I said to myself, I'm going to crack 100,000 YouTube viewers, right? Or subscribers. And I said, okay, well, I'll start putting up mixes. Now, I put up, I think, 2 or 3 production mixes, like in my studio, mixed it up, 45 minutes, half an hour mixes like that, right? But the amount of time and effort that went into that, it was like...
The ROI is not there.
Well, I understood about that because of the TikTok thing. So it was like I devoted so much time to TikTok and put up a TikTok once, twice, 3 times a day and kept it consistent. See, I wasn't consistent with the YouTube thing.
Okay.
So
I think it's interesting when you ask the right questions, you get the right answers.
yeah,
Because you did say earlier that you set yourself a goal. And again, I admire your goal-driven mentality.
yeah,
Because you said that for 6 months you were going to daily
daily.
on TikTok for 6 months, day in, day out.
That's what I said to myself. Yeah, for 6 months, I'm going to do a TikTok a day and just see where it goes.
So that's not just because you want to do it. That's discipline.
If you put it like that, yeah, it is.
Because it is. Because there's one word that is pretty much the sum of all success, and that is consistency.
100%, man.
Just the most amazing thing done once is just not enough. It's
Yeah.
repetition, repetition, repetition.
Yeah.
And daily for 6 months is huge. I mean, we
Huge,
see
man.
when we post something, if we do it daily, instantly the engagement is there. But it's not just about the engagement there. It's also like how much value are you giving yourself? Like how much respect are you gaining for yourself?
Yeah,
Sticking to that consistency.
100%.
Like
see,
the byproduct is a success. Really, for you, you're succeeding inside, right?
yeah, and that's the goal. Like that's the discipline. Like they say, discipline's the greatest form of self-love.
The best teacher as well.
Yeah, exactly. So you don't know what you're capable of unless you put your mind to it, but 2, stay consistent with it. Like be disciplined with it. Now, I'll give you an example of putting my mind to something and achieving it, right? So besides the TikTok thing, right? This is something a little bit more personal, right? So more
That's what we want. Let's get into the personal side. The
getting
lows.
comfortable.
So like
It's my favorite part.
It's like regarding my DJing, but it was on a personal level, right? So being the resident of Marquee, Sydney, I was there every weekend, whatever else have you. But Marquee then opened or announced they were opening a nightclub in Singapore, right? And I said to myself, I want to do the grand opening. I want to DJ the grand opening of Marquee's brand new massive nightclub. And this thing is huge, bro. Like have you seen? It's massive. Anyway, this was a goal that I set myself, and I said, I want to achieve this. Like I will do whatever it takes to make this happen. So when they announced the date that they were opening the club, the opening weekend, I booked flights to go over to Singapore. I wasn't booked to play, but I booked flights to go to Singapore because I wanted to be there for the grand opening weekend. Now, a whole bunch of people from America, from Sydney, from other parts, the whole of the group, they were all there that weekend. And while I was there on the Friday night was the opening night, they had Tiesto. And they had their residents, DJs warm up, whatever. And it was good. It wasn't a bad night, right? But you expect a little bit more from a grand opening, And because I was there, the booking agent at the time said to me, he goes, you're going to play tomorrow night. So I ended up playing the Saturday night, and I was supporting ASAP Rocky, and Afrojack.
Wow.
Jeez.
So I was the main warm-up. So there was a resident DJ that started while people were arriving. And then I jumped on to do the main warm-up for ASAP Rocky. And then the in-between for Afrojack. And then I played for about an hour after Afrojack. And then their resident DJ jumped on. And that finished at like 6:30 in the morning. It was mental, man. But
And that's unannounced, but you internally had your...
unannounced. But because I was there, the booking agent said, okay, well, we're going to put you on. So that was something that, like, I had manifested. I was like, I'm going to make this happen. If I didn't book the flights to go to Singapore, like, I paid to play at Marquee Singapore's grand opening. I didn't get paid for it, but I paid.
This does full circle back to, and I wrote it down, what you said at the beginning, and you've repeated it a few times, that anything is possible if you put your mind to it. And that's another example of you putting your mind to it by booking your flight, being there at the right time, creating your own opportunity.
Correct. Creating your own opportunity. That's very important.
Because you could have stayed home and said, I'm spewing, I didn't get the call up.
I would have regretted it.
That's right.
I would have regretted it.
Going back to what you said before.
Yeah. Did you get what I mean?
Sit and complain about you didn't do it, or you make your chances?
100%. So I said, I'm going to go. And whatever happens, happens. Like, I'm going to go and whatever happens, happens. And I went and that's what happened.
Yeah, and results are magnetic after that, right?
Oh, man.
You attract what you are.
Yeah.
Or what you become.
Yeah, the energy that you put out will come back to you, man.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And if you portray needy energy, you won't get what you want.
Yeah. If you portray negative energy, that's what you'll get. You'll get negative energy from
more
other
and more
people.
problems left and
Yeah,
right.
100%. If you portray positive energy, optimistic energy, then you're going to get that as well.
That's right.
Do you get what I mean?
How do you handle criticism and disapproval?
Look, criticism is a good thing. Criticism, it all depends if it's genuine, right? So genuine criticism is a good thing. But then you also have like narcissistic criticism, and that's not a good thing. So
Passive aggressive.
passive aggressiveness, very just put you down type energy. Do you get what I mean? Like, that's not good. If somebody's out there putting you down, man, like, you need to fuck them off. Like,
Okay, so how do you feel about the people that
I
post?
was going to say fuck them up, but yeah, fuck them off
fuck
better.
them off, man. Like, you don't need that energy in your life. You know what
True.
I mean? Like,
Very true.
And I'll say with some of my comments, right? And like, I'll post a video and people are not true. Like, okay, that's your belief. That's fine. How do you
oh, dude, actually, speaking
navigate
of saying
when
that,
people post, oh, this is shit,
bro. Okay,
Or
prime example.
get
right?
off live or rubbish?
The whole TikTok thing, right? Because obviously when you've got small numbers and stuff like that, like, you're gonna get hate, right? It's inevitable.
Pretty savage, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it's ruthless. Like, the internet's ruthless, right? So when you're putting yourself out there, right, you're very vulnerable, okay? And it's not easy for people, especially people that have, you know, that may not realize it, but, you know, suffer from anxiety or have insecurities, you know, when you put yourself out there, it is very scary, right? And I'll give you an example. Like, I wrote a few songs. Like, I wrote lyrics, I sung, and I rapped on these songs. And I released them. And that is a big thing because, you know, I don't find myself to be a singer or a rapper or something like that, but I wanted to try something different, you know? So I wrote songs that came from personal experiences. Like, you know, I wrote a song called Insecurities.
Some of them are actually pretty
Yeah.
good.
Oh,
I got them saved still.
Are they still out?
No,
Okay.
so when I ended up taking him down after years later because I wanted to go sort of a different direction with the music anyway. So, but I've still got them, and obviously George does as well. Like,
You sent me the files.
yeah, so, but, you know, like, I wrote songs that came from here and, you know, laid them out on a microphone and put them out there to the world. And I had close friends of mine that I thought were, you know, like, going to be in my life forever, like, criticized me, like, bad. And it was very...
Not constructively.
No,
not feedback.
like what George was saying, like, this is shit, like...
And how long ago was that?
Years ago.
Okay.
Years ago.
So let me ask you this. The Sabio now sitting here,
Yeah.
will you release them again now that...
I'd release them better. But yeah, I will release them.
Okay.
Yeah.
As an evolved version, of course.
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, over the years, I've learned more in terms of the mixing side of things.
Yeah,
But
no, but I mean internally.
internally, yeah, I would
now
release
that
them.
you,
yeah.
because you don't need anyone's validation.
No, I don't.
If someone says to you it's great or it's shit, fuck them.
Bro,
Either
that's
way,
your opinion.
that's right. If you're good with you here, and we keep talking about it, if you're good with You here, you don't need anyone to validate what you're doing.
Yeah, correct. 100%. Like, I don't need your validation or your validation or
That's right.
whoever's validation. Like, I'm doing this because I want to do it.
Yeah.
that's
But
like,
when you're
I'm doing this
insecure,
because this makes
you're-
me happy.
You're like,
You know,
oh,
like-
they said it was shit, or oh, it wasn't that good. You start doubting yourself.
That
Or you
dictates.
don't
That
care.
dictates you.
That
makes
happens.
you-
That's right.
That happens. You doubt yourself.
That's right.
Especially when it comes from somebody that you feel so close to. Do you get what I mean? Like, it crushes you.
sense of disappointment, right?
Yeah. It's like, oh, you doubt yourself, you know? And it's like, oh, and that's the worst. And that's how you know that person shouldn't be in your life, because they're meant to be supporting you and lifting you up and telling you constructive criticism. Man, this sounds good, but I reckon you could have done this, you know?
Yeah.
That's cool. Like, but like outright telling it that it's shit.
Yeah.
Like-
You're not really leaving anything for you to take from that. It's like,
Yeah,
okay,
bro.
it's just
It's
shit.
like, okay, what do you mean? To explain to me what makes
Yeah.
it shit, so I
Yeah.
know, you know. Like, but anyway, but going back to the TikTok thing, obviously, when you start putting videos out and stuff like that, it's like people jump on there, and there were times where I would talk at the beginning of the TikTok, so it'd be like, I'll give you an example, right? So I did a 2-pack mashup, right? And I said, where my 2-pack fans at, like that. But obviously, being an Australian and having an Australian accent, you say 2-pack like 2-pack,
Yeah.
not Tupac.
Yeah.
So then you'll have all the Americans and stuff from overseas that would comment on the video saying, oh, it's Tupac, not 2-pack. Like, they would essentially like criticize my accent.
Yeah.
And it's like, I had comments on there like saying, all right, there was a lot of comments that would be like, this is amazing. But then you'd have your few comments that'd be like, oh, no, this is bad, or this is pre-recorded. Like, that's a compliment if somebody says it's pre-recorded. That means
Yeah.
that you've done it mad. Like, so that's cool. But when somebody then turns around and criticizes my accent, they don't deserve to be on my page. Because you're essentially taking a stab at me as a person.
That's right.
If you don't like the
nothing to do
mix,
with your
cool,
music.
man. Say, oh, man, I don't like it. Sweet. Your comment's going to stay there on my profile. And if you go back through the videos, you'll see there are hate comments on there, right? From people that are either jealous of what I'm doing, other DJs from around the world that are jealous or envious or think that it's pre-recorded. Just and general people that either didn't like it. Cool. The moment you criticize me or you try and take a stab at
Your character.
my character, see you later. You don't deserve to be on my page.
That's right.
It's
See you later.
very
Block. Bye.
Yeah.
You know, like, and I only did that solely because, like, it's not even about me wanting to see it. Like, I don't care. It's not. It's more so that, like, how are you meant to make the world a better place if you're not leading by example? You know what I mean? Like, so
Yeah, we've moved studios, so we're a little bit closer to the street than we were before, but that's all good.
What's that sound ending upset?
yeah, 100%. I can help you with
Nah,
that
it's
too.
all right. You should do the burnouts that come here every day. It's all good.
But yeah, you don't just do that. I don't want that energy around me. That's what it is. So like, and if
And you choose, because it's your environment, it's your
100%.
platform. You can choose to do whatever you want.
100%. And even in life, in real day-to-day life, like if I come across somebody or have a chat with somebody and they're negative and it doesn't sit well with me, then you're not going to be in my life. Like the amount of times now, especially at my age, where I've cut conversations because it's like I just can't deal with your energy right now, man. Like I just
Is this the first time you've put yourself out there in front of an audience, being vulnerable?
now
Talking about these
on a
things?
podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the first
On
time.
a podcast, yes, but it sounds like he's doing that on a daily almost on TikTok. But talking about it is a different thing to being
Exactly,
like
man.
performing. being in your
100%,
element.
100%. Like obviously, when I'm on stage, it's different. It's like I've
You're in your zone.
yeah, man. I'm in my
It's a
element.
facade. It's
Yeah, this is a vulnerable thing. Like I'm talking about. I haven't told anybody that my parents were divorced or separated, and my dad left when I was young.
Can I ask a personal question?
Yeah, it's my choice whether I
Do
want to
you,
answer it.
exactly. Oh, he's on fire. Did that affect you at all? Do you feel that it affected
man.
any of your childhood?
Look, I mean, it's obviously hard growing up without a father, right? Now, not to say my dad's passed away. He's still alive, you know, like thankfully. He just lives in Greece, you know? So growing up without a dad was hard because it was hard to see my mum raising 2 kids on her own. You know what I mean? Like, she did her best to put a roof over our heads, clothes on our back, food on our table, man. And honestly, like, that to me is everything. And for me, I feel like yeah, even though I didn't have that father figure there, I still feel like I turned out all right as a man. Because essentially, like, I had to
You did
grow.
a very good job.
Yeah, like, I had to grow into being a man at an earlier age. Do you get what I mean? Like, I had to become the man of the house at an earlier age. So, and she did a fantastic job in, you know, sort of just guiding me and molding me into that direction. And saying that, like, it was, I don't know, like, it was just,
It shows, bro.
yeah,
It
like,
shows.
Can I comment something on that?
yeah.
You think when you said earlier that she supported you, I think one thing that from what I've heard, how you are goal orientated, driven. You even said before, I can't control what happens to me, but I can control how I can react to it. Well, your mum is a testament to that,
100%, man. Yeah.
and that's
And
where
I
I
think
feel like
that's where
so
it's
she's
come
taught
from.
you more than maybe in the moment you've actually realized it wasn't just about supporting you, but she's taught you a lot of morals, like
Yeah.
the morals and lessons of life, which some people in their 40s and 50s don't learn.
And you know what? It
Play
doesn't
victim.
even
They
have
play
to be
victim for the rest of their
yeah,
life.
100%, bro. Like, you can't
Yeah.
play victim, man. Like, it's no good. But in saying that, she didn't even have to verbally teach me that. Like, I was taught that just by watching her.
There's no better example. Not do what I say. Do what I do, not do what I say.
Exactly.
And
yeah.
that's
exactly.
so. I haven't met her, but she sounds like she's an inspiration.
Oh,
And
man,
that's
she's
why
amazing.
you're the man you are.
Yeah. So,
So good for you.
and it's like everything that I do again. Like, it, you know, a big part of that is my mum, for my mum. Like, you know, I did my first headline show. My own. So get this. I dropped a song. It was a single called "It's Over Now," right? And I dropped that in 2020, just before COVID hit. Literally, like, I released the song. The Saturday, I had my single release party at Marquee, so I was headlining it. My mum was there at
How good
Marquee.
is that?
Like,
I wanted to ask you that actually.
Yeah.
And I wanted to suggest that this 5,000 live, your mum should be there
bro,
next to you.
my mum's in the living room on live when I'm live in the
That's awesome.
studio.
That's
yeah,
brilliant.
man, she's watching it, man. Like,
Like-
she
like-
starts as soon as I
Nothing
start the
like being
live.
close to your mum.
That's
Oh
unreal.
man! As soon as I start the live, she's the first viewer on there. She
That's
sits
the-
on there the whole time. Same as my sister; they jump on there and just smash in the like
That
button.
is the
you know?
best.
It's the best, man.
the best
Like, to have that support is amazing, man. And you know what? Some people don't have it. And you know what? Like, that's also okay. You know, like, there's always going to be, you know, look, the people, look, what I can say is there are some people out there that don't have that, right? Now, that shouldn't dishearten them
No.
at all.
Not at all.
Not at all. Like, you know, that shouldn't dishearten them at all, you know, like, because somebody out there is going to support them, but they just need to put themselves out there.
That's right.
Otherwise, how are they going to know?
And maybe they haven't met them yet.
Exactly. You know what I mean? Like, there'll be times where, you know, I've come across people like, where I've seen it. Actually, not even come across people like in real life, but just seen it like over time. You jump on, obviously the internet's a massive place. So you can jump on, you know, say TikTok or Instagram or something, and somebody's started off really low, like obviously small, you know, your fresh profiles started going live, just talking about things like, and it may not even be about DJing or music. It could be just on there, just talking, right? And they look the type of character that are very, you know, secluded, very introvert, you know, like just, you know, and it's hard for an introvert to be expressive, you know, but you see these people and they start just up there and they just start putting themselves out there and they start just talking about things and it sort of evolves. And you can see that the people that would then jump on their, you know, their lives or something like that, they build that connection with them. Do you get what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and then you see the creator, the content creator, them liven up because they can see that they're getting that support. You know what I mean? And it's
It's energy.
yeah, it's energy, bro. Like, energy is everything. Everything. I think that's why. Like,
And some people are skeptic that energy isn't real.
oh man,
But
come on, bro. How can you like, we're made
there's a
of
lot
energy.
yeah, that's
we
right.
are
There's
made
a lot of people think that. but
of sound waves.
You can't say air,
like,
but you can still breathe it.
yeah. But like we are made of electricity. Like that's energy. Like, do you get what I mean? Like it's how it's ingrained in us. How can people not believe in energy?
Yeah.
Maybe because they haven't had an experience,
Or they're closed-minded.
or maybe they need an experience to open up their mind. Do you get what I'm saying? So like we've all had an experience one way or another. It's only a matter of time. You know?
I think it's true. I enjoy what George said. You have to be open to receiving that experience, because sometimes the experience doesn't come if you're so closed off.
Sometimes the experience will just slap you in the face too.
True.
You know what I mean? Like,
That's when dramatic change happens.
Yeah,
when you get
massive
slapped in the
change
face.
happens.
When a crisis happens,
oh man, that's when you
That's
really
when
just
you're
go,
gonna
whoa, what the
What
fuck just
happened
happened? You know, like,
I want to talk about COVID,
okay.
because as a full-time DJ, your life is people.
Yeah.
The country, the world shuts down. With your mindset, and I want people, you obviously you've shared the story, but to us now, but I want you to share with the listeners as well of what you did and what you did to sort of keep yourself driven and motivated. And again, disciplined to do something rather than just be one of those people that went on COVID on view Facebook every day, whinging about the numbers and cases.
Oh yeah. I stayed away from Facebook during that time. It was just all it was COVID, man. It was just too negative for me. I was like, I don't want to see this shit.
Did it
So
put you in a dark
Where
place?
were you?
it was, you know what? Already, like I got smacked in the face hard. This was one of those
Smack in the face moments.
smack in the face moments, right? Going from doing what I love, something that I'm so passionate about every weekend, to not doing it at all. And the simple fact that I didn't make that decision, it was made for me. That was a smack in the face.
Day one of COVID, of the whole lockdown, the day before, where were you in your DJ career?
I had just I did that single release party, the one that my mum was there. The next week we closed.
Far out.
It happened, I dropped a song, did the release party, and the following weekend, the world shut down. So like,
It's intense.
it's intense because it's like I didn't even get time to play out my song, like moving forward, and nobody did, you know. So that was a big smack in the face. I just done this massive event, whatever, and it was a good success. It was a big success, thankfully, and then the world shut down, and I was like, okay, so what do I do now? And I was like, it was a little bit depressing, to be honest, you know, like it's like, because I was like, all right, well, it stopped, and I don't know what to do right now. But being a creative person, I was like, okay, well, I need to do something creative. And I was like, so what am I going to do? And I've got a drift car that I've been building since I was 18 years old. Anyway, and I hadn't touched it for 7 years. And then I looked in the garage and I was like, okay, well, I think it's time to work back on it. Anyway, there was a track event coming up, which was surprising because obviously with COVID and, you know, they still allowed track events, but there was a lot of safety measures in place and distances and stuff like that. Anyway, I was like, I'll take her out. So I was like, okay, I've got all this time now. I'm not DJing. I'm not worried about getting music and, you know, I'm like, all right, let's work on the car. Let's take her out. So
Good opportunity to get out of the house.
exactly, that too. So ended up going to Goulburn, which was, or Marulan, which was Pheasantwood race circuit. Went drifting, had a bit of problems with the car throughout the day, obviously having a bit of problems, and then managed to finally get the car going. And on the second last corner, I smacked her into the wall.
It hurts.
100
It hurts me. Just
100 kilometers into the wall. Bang!
What were you doing with that car? Because you said before, not only were you working on a car.
Well, then for the creative aspect, it's like I said, I'll start a YouTube channel. So I then started a YouTube channel called Saab's Garage. And it was based off my drift car and me working on the car and taking it out racing and whatever else have you. So that was the creative aspect for me. So it was like, okay, the DJing stopped, but now it's time to do something else. So, and I didn't think it was possible that I could be a YouTube vlogger, but I took a crack at it. I said, why not? What have I got to lose? So I grabbed the GoPro, took the car out, recorded as much as I could, smacked it into the wall, came back home and started working on the car.
and made videos, chopping it up.
And made videos. I released a video every week, and throughout the week, obviously because I had all this time, I'd be working on the car. So I had to do everything. I'm talking cut and shut, record panels, and
Mind
Hands
you,
it
not a
down.
mechanic or a panel beater.
yeah.
Just gifted.
Yeah.
Just driven. I think driven is the word.
And that's the thing. It's like I have to know or I have to fix this and I want to fix it myself because obviously like to get the car repaired, like money's like,
Yeah.
and especially during a time with COVID, being
That's
a
right.
full-time DJ, there wasn't a lot of income coming in. You know? Like,
Yeah.
So it's like, I got to find a way to fund, you know, this.
Yeah.
So something that I haven't said either is like I'm a carpenter joiner by trade. So, but I did my apprenticeship and then stopped. So I did my apprenticeship and then bought the cafe. So I stopped doing that. However, when it came down to COVID, I got back on the tools and it actually started from my own home music studio. I built my own studio in the house because we couldn't leave. I couldn't go to another studio. I was like, I'll build one in the house. So I built a music studio in my house, did all the sound acoustics and everything. And I was like, this could turn into a business. So then I started building music studios for other DJs. And that was what was funding the car. So then through the week, I would work on the car and do a day or two here building a music studio and sound acoustic panels and whatever have you. And then that would fund the parts and what I needed for the car. And then every day after that, I just focused on the car and repaired it, recorded it, put it up on YouTube. And I put up, in 1 year, I think it was 32 or 40 episodes, 30 or 35 episodes, something like that.
No, I used to hang for him.
Every week. But it was quite it was a good journey actually. And you know, going back to what you asked me before about what was one of my like achieving memorable goals, like was repairing my own drift car. Because I had to go out and buy a welder. I had no idea how to weld. Like I had to go out and buy a welder, I had to go buy a pulling machine so I can pull out that damage and then cut and shut, and there was a lot happening, man. Yeah, there was a lot.
And you still have
happening.
that car?
I still have it, yeah.
Far out.
Yeah.
Mate, you are the definition of when life gives you lemons, you make lemonade. You have a permanent lemonade stand in your life.
Oh man, yeah. It's, you know what, bro? Like, there's more to it. There's a lot more to it. Like, it just honestly, I think it was a saying that somebody said to me, or it resonated with me. I don't know if somebody said it to me, but I read it somewhere and it resonated with me. Like, nothing will get done unless you do it yourself. And
Very
again,
true.
man, like there is so much information out there as well. So if you don't know how to do something, you can research it.
In this day and age,
Yeah.
You're doing that in some of your videos.
Yeah, exactly. So like, I also pulled
Was it a
apart
laptop you had there?
It was my computer. I had built a computer and left it in the garage. So so that was
another thing you did.
yeah. It was actually in Hackintosh, man. So it was half Windows, half Mac. Anyway, let's not go around there. That's another story.
Mate, I hope people would watch this podcast, not just listen to it.
Yeah.
Because if they see your face, they can see the passion and they can see like what kind of person you are.
Oh, I hope
Maybe
so
people
too,
only
man.
know you as a DJ.
A lot of people only know me as a DJ.
Hopefully this is insightful, not just to get to know your story, but maybe for someone else to feel like they can share theirs.
Well, yeah, absolutely. Like, you know what, man? Like, you have to share your story because everybody's got something valuable to share or to tell. Like, you don't know. Like, hopefully, what I'm saying is maybe in the hopes will change somebody else's life or will help motivate somebody else to do something or to say or to speak or to be more open. Like, everybody's got something valuable to say. Like, somebody can resonate with somebody. Like, somebody out there will resonate with something. Do you get what I mean?
So what hit about wanting to come onto here? Was it you used to watch all my clips?
I liked what I saw, man.
I just got this message and I was like, what the hell?
I liked what I saw. I was like, man, this is sick. Like, you know, like I hopefully I can come up here and express myself in the hopes that it will help change somebody else's life. Do you get what I mean? Like, because at the end of the day, realistically, like what I love about what I do, and that's, you know, being a DJ, is that it's not about me being up there in the spotlight, like thinking I'm the king. I go there to make sure that everybody that's standing in front of me has a good time, because that to me is more valuable, knowing that I've done something to help give people a good time. Do Do you get what I mean? Like, I've gone up there and given you guys all this music, or just one way, because there's nothing better than seeing people in front of you having a good time, you know, and knowing that I contributed to that is the reason why I do it, man. Like, honestly, it's the reason why I do it.
Yeah, it would be.
That's why I'm still doing it to this day.
Yeah, it would be an amazing feeling.
Yeah,
Let's say we invite you back in 12 months.
sounds good.
Is there a goal that you have now that you can achieve in the next 12 months?
Yeah,
What's that?
I haven't played in England. Germany. I've got all these people. I've got people in South Africa asking me to come over to play. I want to do more of the world. I want to travel more of the world. I want to finish the 180, the drift car, so I get that painted. So that's one thing I want to do.
Watch the YouTube channel. He's going to paint it as well.
Yeah, I'm going to paint it on the YouTube channel in the garage.
So global, so international.
I want to go global, yeah, man. I want to go global. So, and I think in 12 months' time, I think I will have 100,000 subscribers on YouTube.
What are we at now?
You think?
Yeah, I think I'm at like 8,000 or something. 6,000. I don't even know. No, I'm not. I'm at like 1,500. I don't even know why I said 6,000.
Okay. So
1,500.
So we need, what do we need? 98,500 people to...
I reckon I'll crack it in 12 months' time. But I just got to, again, you just got to be consistent with it. I have to be consistent with it.
Would you say that is the secret to your success?
Consistency. Passion is the secret to anybody's success. You got to be passionate about what you do, otherwise you're wasting your time.
That's valid.
Love it.
So the byproduct is success through passion. If you do what you love,
it's more rewarding for you if you're passionate about something and you're putting all this effort into something you're passionate about. A lot of people don't know what they're passionate about, man. Like, a prime example, my cousin, you know, he's a fantastic joiner, like carpenter joiner, great tradie, right? But passions, he just doesn't have it. He loves to dance but can't dance to save his life. Do you get what I mean? But he tries, you know, and that is amazing. But I've also tried to get him into videography. I've tried to get him into DJing, like just to attempt to do things, just to help him try and find a passion of his. Because he was very hard on himself and very negative. You know, he went through a bit of a rough time with a partner and whatever have you, but he was at his lowest point. I was there for him. Obviously, he's my cousin. I love the guy to death, you know, so I was going to make sure I was there for him. But amongst that, like, I brought him to Singapore with me, and not for the grand opening, but this was probably another achievement, was I got booked like 2 or 3 years later for my own headline show at Marquee Singapore.
wow.
Yeah. And that was a massive achievement for me. Like, it was sick. This happened last year. Yeah,
That's
like
huge.
They flew me out to go headline this brand new R&B hip hop event that they launched called Mixtape Rewind. And I was the first headliner that they brought out. It was amazing, bro. It was amazing. But I brought my cousin with me. I said, come with me. Because that was at that time, it was a bit at his lowest point. And he didn't want to go. He was depressed and whatever. I said, bro, just come. And he came. He had the time of his life. And he was my videographer. So I showed him how to use a video camera, brought my camera with him, and he used it. And the footage came out magic. And he had the time of his life. So that was me helping him, you know?
Well, before we end it, what's one thing you want people to take away from today?
Don't doubt yourself. Don't doubt yourself. Like, you know, you're going to find it hard. Yeah, everything is hard. But that doesn't mean that you can't do it.
So when you have those moments of wanting to give up, what did you do?
Push. Just do it. Just do it. Like, just do it. Just do it. Just do it. Like, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. It's scary as fuck. Just do it. What do you got to lose?
Nothing.
What do you have to lose?
Nothing to lose, everything to gain.
100%. And you don't know if you don't take that step, you don't know what opportunities are going to arise. Do you get what I mean? Like,
definitely.
So,
What do they say? You lose 100 shots. I fucked that one up, didn't I? What do they say? You lose 100% of the shots that you never took.
Yeah, there you go. Bro, it's just...
Sorry, I butchered that, but anyway, you know what I mean.
No, but you just said something to me. Like, you just said something that resonated with me. Then I've got to say something now, right? So it's like, when you're at the end and you're on your deathbed, right? You're gonna. Would you say that you're gonna have buckets, right? Just think about buckets, okay? And everything that you do, whether it be a life experience or, you know, something, you know, a relationship or whatever else have you, or, you know, going skydiving or whatever. There is things that you want to do that you won't do, right? But if you do them, you add them to your bucket. So when you're at the end, you're going to have a look back. You're going to sit back and look back and go, okay, what did I achieve? And then you're going to have all these buckets of things that you've filled with memories over the years. Do you want to have
Empty buckets?
empty buckets? No way. Like, do you get what I mean? Like,
Absolutely.
yeah, no, like you want to be able to do as much as you can. Because life's short. Like, life's not, like tomorrow's not promised to anybody. You have to do it today. You got to live in the moment, man. People can't be too worried about what's happening tomorrow. Like, I don't even know what I'm doing tomorrow. Actually, I do know what I'm doing tomorrow. But
Actually, flying
I'm
tomorrow.
flying tomorrow. Yeah. but like, if people plan their weeks and this and that, like, but when you do that and it doesn't work out, you get disappointed. You know what I mean? Like, if you've planned this whole week, this time, okay, granted, I understand for business, whatever else have you, but you know,
And sometimes that limits you.
Yeah.
Because you're so focused on that plan, you're not open to the possibility of a new opportunity arising.
yeah, exactly.
But yeah,
100%.
very valid.
So yeah, just do it. That's my advice that I'm giving to people. Even if you don't know how to do it, just do it. You'll learn
Doing
it.
something is better than nothing.
Yeah. When opportunity knocks on your door, you open the door. That's it. Even if you don't know how to do it, just say yes and learn along the way. I've done that before.
What is it?
Many
Is that the fake it till you make it?
It's like a fake it till you make it, bro.
Sometimes
Like seriously,
let's
it
be
is.
honest. Sometimes you do, because if you need all your ducks in a row to make it happen, the opportunity never arises at that point.
Never. You can't wait for
You're
it to
all
line. You have
prepared
to
and
align
you've
it.
got nothing.
Yeah,
You got to roll with it,
100%.
mate. Thank you for coming on.
Thanks for having me, guys.
This is definitely going to be a 2-part series.
100%.
Lovely.
Appreciate you and wish you all the best. And maybe we'll do a follow up in 12 months. and we
100%.
see with 100,000 YouTube subscribers.
Keep doing what you're doing, guys.
Thank
you're
you.
doing good things.
Awesome. Done.
Thank you, boys.
Woo.